Welcome back, YouTube. Today we're going for a bit of a hard challenge. This video, I'm going to be attempting a Nuzlocke of Pokemon HeartGold without stab moves. If you don't know what a stab move is, when a Pokemon is the same type as the move it uses, that move's damage is multiplied by 1.5 times. Not only does removing this aspect of the game severely nerf my attacking power, it also flips some of the good Pokemon on their heads. For example, Cyndaquil is known for generally being the best starter for the Johto games, because of how well Fire-type moves stack up against the major battles. But with Fire-type moves banned on Fire-type Pokemon, Cyndaquil might actually become bad. Conversely, Totodile, which is still good in its own right, gets strong moves like Bite and Ice Fang, which are not Water-type, so Totodile will be our starter for the run. This is just another example of the many changes this challenge will implement. A few more clauses. Status moves are not affected by the rule, and neither are set damage moves, since they don't receive a stab boost. And Pokemon can also still learn moves of the type, or else we probably couldn't get HM moves as easily. Standard Nuzlocke rules apply, and Pokemon that evolve via trading are set to evolve at level 37. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. I'm close to 10, and it'd be exciting to see that early benchmark happen. As stated before, our starter is Totodile, and nothing happens unless we can get some Pokeballs. Also, I named my rival Stabton. It's a beautiful name, isn't it? Catching a Sentret as our first encounter, we run into the first glaring challenge of the run. Sentret doesn't learn a single non-stab move by level up, other than Sucker Punch at level 31, which means that this encounter is basically a dupes encounter and nothing else. On the other side of the coin, we pick up Caterpie and Geodude as our second and third encounter respectively. Both of these Pokemon have non-stab moves immediately, and Geodude can almost single-handedly take down the Flying-type gym. Next up, we get Bellsprout, who is completely useless, and Zubat, whose only good move is Bite, which gets covered by Totodile. Oh yeah, and Sprout Tower gives us a Rattata, which gets Bites, so I guess we'll use it. Our last encounter before the gym is Mareep, who only gets Tackle for now, but has the perk of being resisted by flying, but no, it has the perk of resisting flying. Also, we caught an unknown. It has Hidden Power Ghost. It can't help against the gym. We're basically going in with 3 or 4 Pokemon, because Rattata and Zubat would take too long to get good moves. We got the 2 Amigos at level 13 right now, so I think the combination of K-Rool's Bite and Geodude's Bulk can kill 2 birds with 1 stone on a crocodile. The fight goes fairly well. Totodile takes out the Pidgey with a couple of bites, and hits 2 Leers on the Pidgeotto before switching out. There's a bit of back and forth between tackling, Gust, Roost, and a potion. Shut up, I'm bad. But we never come in range of dying, and a lucky critical hit takes out the Pidgeotto, earning us our first badge. Next up, we can get the Togepi Egg, which thankfully in this game is Extra Sensory, a non-stab move. After failing to catch an Onix in Union Cave, I traded my Bellsprout for one in town, and traded up while waiting for Togepi to hatch. While grinding Onix, I actually decide to let Rocky learn Rock Throw, as if we end up evolving it into Steelix, it loses its Rock typing, meaning it can use Rock moves. Soon after, the Togepi Egg evolves off camera, and we now have strong Psychic type damage on a normal type, so we level it up too. The next notable thing is the Bug type gym. Scyther is pretty strong, but I have several Bug type resists and a strong physical attacker in Totodile. Let's see how the battle goes. I wasn't recording. Well, time to break out MS Paint to show you the fight. We lead with Butterfree against Scyther. Scyther hits a quick attack for a chunk of damage, and Butterfree lands a Poison Powder. As I switch out to Onix, as Onix's base defense of 160 nearly completely walls Scyther. After a couple Leers, Scyther hits a strong U-turn and switches to Metapod. So I switch out to Togepi, heal Onix, and take down Metapod with a couple of extra sensories. Scyther comes back out, so Onix comes back in. And basically the same thing happens, and Scyther switches to Kakuna, which means that Butterfree can come out and confusion it down. Geodude comes out to fight Scyther, and simply hits a couple of tackles to stall out the poison turns, winning us the gym battle. Next up is the Stabton fight. The Ghastly and Zubat are weak to confusion, so Butterfree takes them down. The Bayleaf comes out, and both Pokemon exchange poison powders. Butterfree hits a couple of confusions, but I get scared of poison and switch out to Togepi. Togepi starts confusing the Bayleaf with Sweet Kiss. Togepi starts confusing the Bayleaf with Sweet Kiss, because I can use status moves as the same type in this challenge, and spamming Growl, referred to earlier in the sentence, until Bayleaf is at -6 attack, which means it's quartered. After Togepi gets a little low, I switch it to Croconaw and defeat the Bayleaf with a couple bites. The battle was painful to do, but I wasn't going to lose. I taught Headbite to half my Pokemon in Ilex Forest. It's a good move. Next up, I have to fight Whitney. I know what I might have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. First up, Clefairy. I decide to Poison Stall it with Butterfree. None of Clefairy's metronomes seem to do anything, but before it goes down, it rolls Rock Smash and gets the defense drop, which lets the dreaded Miltank come out and one-shot Butterfree with Stomp. This made me immediately think, yup, time to pull the trigger. I bring out Geodude to take a Stomp hit and absolutely explode on it. And it doesn't kill, which puts me in deep trouble. I bring out Croconaw and nearly take it out, but Whitney heals with a Super Potion, so I have to switch out to Togepi. Togepi uses Sweet Kiss to proc the Lumberry, then I heal. I run out of Super Potions, so I switch out to Onix to tank while I heal with regular potions, and switch to Sentret to get absolutely McWrecked, but Whitney starts using Rollout. Thankfully, without the flinch chance, Togepi can use Yawn and then Sweet Kiss to stop the Rollout, and Croconaw can clean up the rest with Headbutt. It sucks that we had to lose Geodude, but that giant chunk out of Miltank's health was invaluable to the run staying alive. Onix will do his best to fill the spot that Geodude left, but we will remember the rock and Butterfree fondly. Sentret can off though. We got Kenny the Spearow, and then nearly got completely melted by this devil battle with fully evolved Pokemon, and made it to Ecruteak City. Our 3 lost Pokemon are now replaced with Zubat, Kenya, and Muscles the Machop, who knows Strength because I caught a Drowsy before Goldenrod. Now we have to take on Stabton. Golbat one-shots Ghastly. The tag team of Onix and Croconaw takes down Magnemite. Bayleaf makes the mistake of using Poison Powder on Machop, activating Guts, which completely demolishes it with a single Strength. Finally, Golbat takes out the Zubat. Next up is Morty. 3 of our Pokemon know Dark-type moves, so we'll see what happens. Golbat knocks out the 2 first Pokemon with 1 hit each. Then Gengar comes out, and then I put my strategy into play. If I use Leer on the Gengar, it can't hit me at all. When it runs out of Sucker Punches, I can simply pursuit the heck out of the Gengar, and Golbat cleans up the last Haunter. While on my way to Olivine, I ran into Raikou. Naturally, I threw a Great Ball at it, but it didn't catch. I also decided to add Tauros to the team so that I could teach it Surf. And then something happened that completely aggravated me and made me start using rare candies for the rest of the run. Togepi died to a critical hit acid from a wild Tentacool. Anyway, for the first time in a while, I don't feel great about Chuck. However, we have some strong neutral hits which could let us brute force our way through the gym later. Disaster. Tauros took out Primeape in 2 Zen Headbutts. A joke comes out against Poliwrath. Poliwrath hits the 30% chance of getting a paralysis on Machop with Body Slam, and then the 25% chance of a full paralysis. Then I accidentally use Leer, which lets Poliwrath fire off a giant Focus Punch, killing Machoke. Oh no! Next out is Feraligatr, who starts hitting Headbutts. Soon enough though, I get put to sleep, then hit by a giant Focus Punch as I heal to sleep. Later, I get hit by a critical hit Surf, which means I have to switch to Crobat, who immediately gets paralyzed by a Body Slam on the switch-in. The only move that I hit was Confuse right before I had to switch out to Coughing. There's only one option here. Remember the Whitney fight? We explode, winning us another gym badge. I guess the nickname made sense. We added Rattata and Hoot Hoot to the team, and taught Fire Blast to Tauros for the Steel types. I also forgot to rare candy my Pokemon for the gym, so we're going into the fight 5 levels lower than Jasmine's Steelix. Onix starts against the Magnemite, but it only has a resisted move, and after a couple of Sonic Booms, you have to switch out to Raticate and hit more resisted moves in Crunch. Or maybe just one Crunch, as Raticate takes a giant Thunderbolt and freaking dies. So next out is Tauros. Fire Blast does a lot, but so does Thunderbolt, so I switch back to Onix to finish off the Magnemite. Next is Steelix, so I bring in Tauros and use a Super Potion. After healing the paralysis from the Magnemite, I learned that Steelix has Screech. I decided to switch it to Noctowl, which I realize now is a bad play, because apparently it has Rock Throw, but that doesn't matter, because we got up a Hypnosis and a Reflect. Chip it a bit with Confusion before switching it to Tauros, and taking it down with a couple more hits. Noctowl comes out to hit it another Hypnosis, and switches out to Tauros. With a few Fire Blasts and Surfs, the battle is won. The team needs a bit of reconstruction after that, so we'll see how it goes. We had a new Machoke who we caught in Cliff Cave. Don't talk about him. And the static Sudowoodo to the team. Also, I've decided that set damage moves also don't. Ignore that sentence. It was mentioned earlier in the script. Next up, we can take on Price. We start off strong, with Machamp taking down Seal and Sudowoodo taking down Dugong. We throw half our team at the Piloswine, with Machamp eventually staying in, healing a ton, and taking down the Piloswine with a final strength. The Goldenrod rival battle went by pretty simply, but did require a bit of switching around and take some hill dances. Heyo! Who wants to lose Tauros to a critical hit Fire Fang from the Rocket Executive? Route 43 gives us a Giraffary, which could be a member of the final team with Choice Spec Shadow Balls, because have you noticed? My entire team is physical attackers. In Ice Path, I pick up Waterfall. I looked up the learn set for Waterfall in Gen 4, and the Pokemon I can use with it are just Dragonite. Next up is Claire. Nothing I have has super effective damage for the Kingdra, so I'm incredibly scared. I was right. Gyarados knocks out the first two Pokemon, then Machamp cleans up the second Dragonair. Feraligatr comes out against the Kingdra because of its bulk and level, until Claire f***ing annihilates my best Pokemon with a critical Dragon Pulse. I bring out Gyarados next to hit a couple of Dragon Rages, but Power Points make me switch to using Bite and healing a lot. Because of Smokescreen, I had to sacrifice my weakest Pokemon, Crobat. Its only move that it's ever going to get is Bite, which gets covered by other team members. With that, Gyarados can come back in and take down the Kingdra. After basically telling the Dragon Master that I don't slap the shit out of my Pokemon for dying, he gives us a Dratini with the move Extreme Speed and Adamant Nature, which is just perfect. The Kimono Girls were going to be easy, but I lost Machamp to a critical hit Thunderbolt, so that was just stellar. But now, I get the chance to catch Ho-Oh. I lob my Master Ball, and now I have the legendary Pokemon. And I'm going to use it. I teach it a couple of TMs so that it doesn't have any fire moves, and move on to Victory Road. After breaking Stabton's legs for a final time, we start building the Elite Four team. For sure, we're keeping Gyarados, Ho-Oh, and the newly evolved Dragonite. The other three Pokemon are Seeking, Sudowoodo, and Donphan. A decent team, but not perfect. I'm gonna work on their movesets. The movesets are okay, but the limitation of no stab moves is really bad, because that's the entire premise of the video. Did you forget? Gyarados, Ho-Oh, and Dragonite are going to have to carry. Speaking of carrying, Ho-Oh one-shots all of Will's Pokemon with Choice Spec Shadow Ball. Then Dragonite sets upon Koga's Forretress and takes out the entire team. Bruno is never difficult, so next is Dark Trainer Karen. Sudowoodo chunks Umbreon with Hammer Arm. Then Karen switches to Gengar, and I'm like, oh, I'm sure this doesn't have anything. Then click Feint Attack. Then Gengar breaks out Focus Blast. And Sudowoodo survives on 4 HP. Okay, Sudowoodo, you absolutely get to live, you absolute mad lad. Ho-Oh cleans up the Gengar, then Gyarados beats the following Murkrow and Houndoom. For the meme, I completely prepared to sacrifice Seeking, who then did the impossible. It hit Horn Drill on the Umbreon, then did the same on the Vileplume who followed. It is now time to, as the old wives' tale goes, beat the living daylights out of Lance. Gyarados versus Gyarados. Lance's Gyarados begins spamming Dragon Pulse. Dragon Dance. Dragon Dance. Dragon Dance. Dragon Dance. Dragon Dance. Dragon Dance. After that, every Pokemon on Lance's team falls to either Ice Fang or Strength. My small brain decided to use the special Hyper Beam to take out the Charizard, which didn't kill, and I thought it must have been some damage overload glitch, but no. I've just been playing too much Gen 3 and before. It's not physical. And with that, we have defeated the champion, and we have completed the run. Now, there is a secret final boss in Red, the protagonist of the Kanto games, but no. Thanks a ton for watching all the way to the end. Again, it would be great if you subscribed. This is actually the second Nuzlocke I ever completed. The the first being the Pokemon Gold water type one. One thing I found odd about this run was how many Pokemon died to a critical hit. Almost all of our deaths were caused by RNG. Metronome rolling Rock Smash and getting the defense drop on Butterfree, Machoke getting affected by both a 30% Body Slam paralysis chance and the 25% full paralysis, and Tauros, Feraligatr, and Machamp all got crit. The only deaths that weren't unlucky were the 2 exploding Pokemon and the Raticate, who got completely wrecked by Thunderbolt. Next week is more Terraria, a great series that I have a lot of fun with. I'll see you then. Have a great day. And the video is finished. That's all the scripted part, and everything is edited down. I had a lot of fun making this. This was, like, really a good experience. This is actually the same day that I uploaded the 3rd Terraria part. This is the same day as I uploaded Terraria Part 3. Like, I am really ahead of schedule, which makes me a lot happier, because that means I have almost 2 weeks to work on the Terraria Nuzlocke, which means we'll have so much more time to do things. And yeah, check out my videos here, and see you next time.